Tell me what your issue is with the education.
Well, I've been looking for a long time, serving on the Education Committee, at where the money goes. And a recent nonpartisan study just came out that confirmed that over the last 14 years, our per pupil spending on K through 12 education statewide, it varies by district, of course, has gone up by 45%. But teacher pay has only gone up by 27%. And during that period, we've been hiring district-level administrators at almost 4 times the rate that we're hiring teachers. And of course, our student outcomes, as I'm sure you're well aware, are not good. Only 40% of our third graders are reading and doing math at grade level. So my point is, it is important that we judge ourselves not just on how much money we spend, but on how that money gets spent. And I want to see it go into the classroom and go into our hardworking teachers and to bring up those performance scores.
I don't want to drag this conversation out too long.
Sure.
But teacher salaries are dictated by local school districts, not by the state treasurer.
This is true. However, when I was in the legislature, and I've been working on this for 5 years, and we did a study of this 4 years ago that showed the same thing. And what I want to do is provide some transparency to our parents and to our legislators on what's happening with the money, to see if we can't get more pressure applied to see that the money actually goes to the classrooms and the teachers, to teaching the kids so that they can raise those scores, because I think it is a very, very serious issue.
We'll make it quick, and we always have that room for a question later on.
Absolutely. So, I was a teacher for 35 years. I spent 25 of that in the K-12 classroom, also taught at CU Denver. I know education policy well, and I think we're throwing around a lot of numbers here, but at the end of the day, I know the fact is that our school systems are stretched thin. 80% of their budget is people, and when you have the lowest competitive salaries in the country, then you have a problem with attracting and retaining the top professionals that we need to have in front of our students. There was legislation passed in 2010 that actually caused the increase in administrators through teacher evaluation. It's very controversial, and so I think it's easy to point to how we measure by standardized tests, but if you want to ask an expert who really knows about measuring student performance, I can tell you that because I am one.
Perhaps we can get back to this when you ask each other
I've got kids in the public schools right now.
So actually, because you're both passionate about this issue of education, I want to ask you about another school-related issue. But just to be clear, the nonpartisan study you're talking about, that was the Common Sense Institute study, correct?
That is correct.
Yeah. They're nonpartisan, so they can keep their tax status. But that's a conservative think tank that you were citing.
They are, but I haven't heard anyone disagree or dispute their numbers. And I did a separate study of this using publicly available data, actually reported to our Department of Education by the districts, and we came up with very, very similar results 4 years ago, and actually showed how teacher salaries could go up if the administrator headcount went down.
I just want folks to know where the numbers are coming from.
Absolutely.